Hey everyone, welcome back. I am so ready to dig into this one with you all. We're doing gut health today, but hold on, because we're ditching the diet fads. We're talking delicious AD, good for you, with Tim Spector's Food For Life Cookbook.
It's a popular one.
Seriously, you all requested this one like crazy, and for good reason. This isn't just like flipping through recipes, is it?
Not even close. I think what really got me interested is, Spector's background. He's coming at this as a scientist, a leading researcher in gut health, not just a chef, right?
Bringing the science into the kitchen.
Exactly. And that's a game changer if you're like me and want your food to be both enjoyable, good for you.
Okay, so no pressure, but you've got mountains of research on this, plus all the listener notes on Food for Life. What's the mission for today?
You nailed it. We're zeroing in on what matters most. People actually want to cook from this book and, importantly, understand why Spector's making these choices. That's what we're here for.
And knowing this audience, they probably already eat pretty healthy, right?
Yeah.
What surprised you when you dug into all of this?
Honestly, the variety. 10 lentil recipes did make me wonder for a second.
Okay, lentil lover over here, but still.
Right. But he's not afraid of flavor, or even, dare I say, some indulgence. Beetroot brownies made with actual sugar, pecan chocolate cookies. Heck, he's even got eggplant parmesan, but he gives it this gut-healthy lentil twist.
Beetroot brownies. All right, you've got my sweet tooth's attention. Let's back up a touch, though. Someone brand new to Spector and all this, what's the core idea here?
It all comes down to the gut microbiome. We want that thing thriving. Basically, making a happy home for all the good bacteria in your gut.
Right, happy gut, happy life.
Exactly. And he lays it all out in his 6 pillars of Food for Life.
6 pillars. All right, I can handle that. Hit me with number 1.
First up, he's all about what he calls pivoting our protein.
Pivoting our protein. Ooh, I kind of like the sound of that already. Tell me more.
He's basically challenging that whole protein obsession we see everywhere these days.
Oh, yeah, like protein shakes, protein bars, protein, everything.
Exactly. But instead of loading up on huge amounts of animal protein, he wants us to shift gears, focus more on plants. We're talking lentils, yes, those lentils. Nuts, beans, things like that. Foods that are packed with protein, but also naturally high in fiber.
So not about ditching protein altogether, just getting smart about where it comes from.
You got it.
And what's the deal with fiber? Seems like that keeps coming up.
It's crucial. Fiber is like food for the good bacteria in our gut. It helps them thrive. And guess what? Plant-based proteins? Yeah, they're naturally fiber-rich. So just by switching up our protein sources, we're already doing wonders for our gut.
2 birds, 1 stone.
Yeah.
I'm into it. What's the next pillar all about?
Okay, get this. Spector wants us to eat 30 different plant foods every single week.
30? Whoa, that's a lot of produce.
It sounds like a lot, I know, and this is key, it's not as hard as you might think. We're talking fruits, veggies, nuts, seeds, lentils, beans, even those herbs and spices count.
So it's about variety, not just how much you stuff in your face.
Precisely. It's about embracing that beautiful diversity on your plate.
And wasn't this something Spector himself really focused on?
Absolutely. He had a bit of a wake-up call a few years back, experienced a stroke. It made him totally rethink his own diet.
Wow.
And that journey, trying to improve his own health, that's what led him to this whole concept of a diverse, plant-rich diet.
That's really powerful. It makes it so much more than some abstract idea, This is something he lived. Okay, 30 different plants, check. How do we make sure we're not just eating the same 5 things on repeat?
That is where pillar number 3 comes in. And it's a simple one. Embrace the rainbow.
I love this already.
Right.
We're talking colorful fruits and veggies.
Yeah.
Right on it.
Those vibrant colors are often a sign of different nutrients, antioxidants, all that good stuff. And that variety, it just makes your gut happy. Plus, let's be honest, it makes your plate look way more appealing.
Agreed. Eating the rainbow is a lot more fun than any diet I've tried. What's next?
Spector is all about fermented foods. He wants us to embrace things like kefir, kimchi, miso, all those tangy, flavorful options. And there's a reason he loves them. They're basically bursting with good bacteria, those probiotics everyone's talking about.
Little helpers.
Exactly. And they're key for a diverse, balanced gut microbiome.
So more good stuff on our plate equals more good stuff in our gut. Makes sense to me. We've got pivoting our protein, 30 different plants a week, eating the rainbow, and now getting friendly with fermented foods. What else makes Spector's list?
Okay, so this next one might seem kind of obvious, but honestly, people forget about it all the time, especially with the way we eat now, It's quality over quantity.
Yeah, it's so easy to get caught up in counting calories, tracking macros, all that. Spector's going for something different, huh?
100%. He wants us to really think about choosing foods that are packed with nutrients, whole foods, not those super processed things. They're basically just empty. Like, what's the point, right? Seriously. It's like that saying, don't eat anything your great-grandmother wouldn't recognize.
Right. Back in the day, it was all real food. Okay, ready for the final pillar of a happy gut.
Wait on me.
It's something called time-restricted eating, or TRD. You might have heard of it. It's gotten pretty popular.
TRE. Yeah, it rings a bell, but I'm not going to lie. I'm a little fuzzy on how it actually works.
No worries. It's less about what you're eating and more about when. So basically, you eat all your meals within a certain window of time each day, and then you fast for the rest.
So, like, giving your gut a break, letting it chill out and do its thing.
Exactly. And that downtime, that can be really good for your gut, your overall health, everything. A lot of people do like a 12-hour eating window, then a 12-hour fast, usually overnight. But the important thing is to figure out what works for you.
Makes sense. It's all about that personalized approach. You mentioned earlier that Spector doesn't shy away from addressing those, like, trendy food things. What's his take on this whole protein craze? Oh, he definitely has thoughts. He sees it as a big roadblock to gut health, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he says a lot of us are eating way more protein than we need. And usually that means we're missing out on other things like, you guessed it, fiber.
Which takes us right back to pillar number 1.
Yeah.
Pivoting our protein.
Exactly. It all connects, you see.
So by eating more plant-based protein, getting all those colorful fruits and veggies, fermented foods, we're naturally solving that protein problem.
You're getting it. It's not about restriction. It's about balance. And speaking of things people worry about, Spector also addresses this idea that eating healthy has to break the bank.
Oh, that's huge. Because that's intimidating for people. Like, I want to eat better, but I can't afford it. What's his perspective?
He's all about making it work, you know. He says that when you prioritize those whole foods, the things you can stock up on, it can actually be easier on your wallet in the long run.
So, like, ditching those pre-made meals and opting for a lentil soup instead.
Exactly. Lentils are cheap. And think about it. Those processed foods really add up. Plus, think of it as an investment in your health.
That's a good point. Avoiding those health problems down the line. Okay, before we get to the recipes, our listeners are super curious about the ZOE program. You know, the one Spector's involved with. Can you give us the lowdown?
Sure. So ZOE is all about personalized nutrition. They look at your gut microbiome, how your body reacts to different foods. You do some at-home testing, and they give you specific advice. It's pretty cool.
Sounds high-tech. I bet it's not cheap, though.
It's an investment, for sure. Think of it like a really deep dive into your own personal gut health. We'll put a link in the show notes for anyone who's interested, though.
Perfect. Okay, back to the cookbook. Now, you know I'm all about practicality. What really stood out to you? What's got you excited to get in the kitchen?
Honestly, I love that he gives you concrete ways to put these principles into practice. It's not just theory. He's got recipes.
Speaking of, ready to whip something up. Because I'm ready to eat. My stomach is definitely ready. Okay, so I'm really into this idea of gut-healthy comfort food.
Yeah.
You know? What about recipes that won't turn into an all-day cooking project?
Spector's got your back. He's got a whole section on 15-minute meals, which I love.
Okay, see? Now that's what I'm talking about.
Right. Healthy eating doesn't have to be complicated. His black bean chili is perfect for this. It's quick, but it's packed with flavor.
Black bean chili in 15 minutes. Are you speaking my language? How do we make this magic happen?
It's all about those pantry staples and being smart with your prep. You'll need black beans, obviously, some diced tomatoes, an onion, garlic, and then your favorite spices.
Okay, basic so far.
Right. But he's really big on using lots of different spices. Cumin, chili powder, paprika. It all adds to that plant diversity in the dish.
And diversity equals happy gut microbes.
Exactly. So you just saute the onion, garlic, get those spices in there to really bloom, and then toss in your beans, tomatoes, water, let it simmer, and boom, you've got dinner.
That's it. Seriously. And it's good.
So good. And budget-friendly, too. He also includes variations, like ways to top it up in the book.
Oh, that's fun. What are your go-tos?
Ooh, I love a dollop of Greek yogurt on top. Adds a little tang, plus more probiotics.
Right. Gotta love those.
And you can't go wrong with some fresh cilantro, a little extra flavor, a pop of green.
It's like he's giving us permission to play around in the kitchen a bit, as long as we're sticking with those core principles.
Oh.
Honestly, this has been a total mindset shift for me. I used to think gut-healthy eating meant boring and bland. This chili proves it can be anything but.
That's exactly what Spector wants people to see. It doesn't have to be restrictive or complicated. Even if you just take one of his Food for Life principles and run with it, like swap a bag of chips for an apple, toss some lentils in your next soup. It all makes a difference.
Those small changes, they add up over time. So next time you're meal planning, think about those 6 pillars. What was it? Pivoting that protein, 30 different plants per week, eating the rainbow, befriending the fermented stuff.
Quality over quantity.
Right. And that whole time-restricted eating thing.
Don't get overwhelmed, though. It's not about being perfect. It's about progress, right? And hey, you might even discover a new favorite dish along the way.
Absolutely. And if you try Spector's black bean chili, let us know. Hit us up on social media. Show us those culinary creations. And be sure to check back in for more deep dives into all sorts of fascinating topics. Until then, happy cooking, everyone. And here's to a happy gut.